Evan here with a special edition here in our beloved Facebook group. So today with me, I've got a very special guest. This is Wendy Myers from Myers Detox, and she is putting on an amazing summit that I'm really excited to hear all about today. So Wendy, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me. It was so nice meeting you, Evan. We went to a Publish and Profit conference when we were trying to write and publish our books. And we're in the same space, trying to help people fix their fatigue. So it was great meeting you, and thanks so much for having me on.
That's right, yes. Wendy also wrote an awesome book on fatigue called Limitless Energy. So check it out if you want to learn more about it. So Wendy, I'm really excited about this summit. Tell me about it. Tell me about the Heavy Metal Summit.
Yes, so I'm co-hosting the Heavy Metal Summit with my colleagues, Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt and Dr. Christine Schaffner, and they run an amazing clinic in Seattle, Washington, just outside of there. And Dr. Klinghardt's a world-famous physician. He actually started detoxing people 40 years ago, and a lot of what we know today is based on research that he's done, and like he coined the term binders and started giving his patients binders or substances that absorb toxins, the very benign substances, long time ago. And so I was very honored to be asked to co-host this summit, and we talk about everything detox, the latest cutting edge supplements, why you need to detox, cutting edge protocols. We even have a whole day dedicated to how to detox bioenergetically. And somehow I found 6 speakers that can speak to this, because it's very cutting edge. There's not a lot of people doing it or talk about it or know about it. So, detox there's a lot of different ways that you can detox, and there's a lot of myths out there about things that work. So we're talking all about, the different metals like arsenic and lead and mercury, and how they can promote different health issues and symptoms like fatigue or brain fog or, trouble losing weight. We talk about a lot of different health issues, autoimmune disease. Dr. Tom O'Brien talks about autoimmune disease. We talk about autism. We talk about toxins and vaccines. We talk about nutrition, foods to detox. So a lot of, different subjects related to detoxification. And you can just click the link above to join us totally for free for the summit. It starts January 29th to February 5th. And I'm really, really excited about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's totally going to be amazing. I've always really appreciated what Dr. Klinghardt has to say. He's quite brilliant.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, since this is a fatigue group, tell us a little bit about heavy metals and fatigue. How do heavy metals cause fatigue? What are some of those things?
Yeah, so this is the little niche that I kind of specialize in, because I noticed in working with thousands of clients over the years and helping them to detox that everyone's number one complaint was fatigue, and even people that have energy want more energy, hello. And so I in the course of working and collaborating with Dr. Bruce Jones, we developed something called a mitochondria detox, where in our research, we found that there were certain metals that actually poison enzymes that transport nutrients into our mitochondria. And our mitochondria, make our body's energy. So we came up with something called a mitochondria detox. It's just a couple supplements that's very, very simple protocol to do that clean up these metals in your body over time. It's not like an overnight process. But once you start cleaning up these metals, your mitochondria are able to produce more energy. So I talk about that at length in my talk on the summit. Dr. Klinghardt interviewed me, and we both of us in our practice use BioSil. It's a hair, skin, and nail product. It's marketed as a hair, skin, and nail product, and a lot of women use it to get beautiful hair, skin, and nails. But it's really this incredibly effective detox agent, and it detoxes aluminum, arsenic, thallium, which we breathe in the air. It's from gasoline, unfortunately from car exhaust, and tin and cesium, and also detoxes iron, which can cause fatigue as well. And so it gets rid of these metals very effectively and can help people on the road to recovering their chronic fatigue or just their, subclinical fatigue.
Wow. And how do you spell BioSil?
Yeah, it's BIOSIL. And I encourage people to take about 5 to 10 drops per day. And then they can also do another product called Pectisol C. It's a modified citrus pectin that's a binder, because the BioSil will mobilize all these toxins from storage sites. But you always, 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 always have to take a binder when you're doing any type of detox to absorb all the metals that or toxins that you're mobilizing with your detox efforts, be it infrared saunas or whatever you're doing. So you want to take a binder. And my favorite's modified citrus pectin, but there's lots of great ones out there, like activated charcoal and green Millerite clay. This is a great one too that I take. It's called from Kiwi Labs. It's called the Parasite Detox Mineral Formula. That one's tasty. And there's lots of different ways to bind onto toxins, and it's a great way to detox for children or people that can't do a typical detox. Everyone can take a binder.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And so, yeah, so why is detoxification so important when you're dealing with heavy metals?
Yeah, so everyone has heavy metals. So a lot of people think, oh, I feel great, I feel fine, and I don't have any health issues or diagnoses. But the reality is that there's so many metals, there's dozens of metals, there's 80 to 100,000 chemicals that have been unleashed into our environment by industry. So everyone is exposed to metals and chemicals in our air, food, and water. And a lot of the products that we're putting on our bodies and our household cleaners that we're using, and just not to mention our food packaging, there's just so many different sources of toxins, the water we're showering in, that it sounds kind of depressing, but there's a lot of things that you can do to detox your body. And that's why I wanted to do this summit, the Heavy Metals Summit, to try to educate people, number one, about the fact that they do need to detox their body if they want to meet their health goals, if they want to remain healthy throughout their life. It's something that a lot of people are missing in their health regime. And I found myself doing everything perfectly. I mean, just focusing all day long on my health. I was a stay-at-home mom in the past, and I just cooked all my own food. I ate perfectly. I ate fresh food, cooked all myself. It was organic. And I took the best supplements, the highest quality, most expensive supplements. I was going to bed every night at 9, 10 p.m. like a good little girl, but was, having trouble staying asleep. And I was exercising. I was doing everything right. And I still didn't feel good. And it took me a while to figure it out, but I eventually realized that mercury toxicity, arsenic, thallium, and cesium toxicity were undermining my health and causing a lot of my symptoms like fatigue and brain fog and trouble sleeping and, even anger. I was having little bouts of rage, which were very unlike me, just not my personality at all. And I think a lot of people find themselves just doing a lot of things for their health and just not feeling well. And they don't know why. And so it's really important to me. I'm very passionate about bringing awareness to this issue about the importance of detoxification and adding it to your health regime, just like you do healthy food and supplements and exercise.
It's so important. And it's not just a fad, right?
No, it's not a fad. No, not if I can help it.
Right. I mean, people talk about, they're like, oh, detox is just kind of this thing that you do for a short period of time. You do a cleanse, or, you go off to some of these spas, and you're going to do a detox sort of thing. But people don't realize that, we have all these phases of detoxification, and they all have to be patent. They all have to be working in order for us to get rid of all this crap that's in our environment.
Yeah, and every little bit helps. I'm all for people attempting little detoxes and doing it for, short periods of time. It all adds up. But the reality is, we're bombarded with hundreds of chemicals every day. And you really have to do something on a consistent basis for the rest of your life to stay ahead of the curve and clean all these metals and chemicals out of your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, I like to use natural products, but I find that with heavy metals, that's one of those spaces that I really prefer to use, a pharmaceutical aid. Tell me about your experience, because I'd love to use more natural products for doing that, but I just haven't found, it just seems to take so long. If I'm going to go natural, it takes about a year or so instead of 6 months or whatnot.
It does. I mean, even if you're using pharmaceutical products, I mean, it can still take a really long time, and, we talk about IV chelation. We talk about DMSA, which is something a lot of doctors use in their clinics to detox people. We talk about EDTA, which is another thing that can be administered through IV chelation. We talk about a lot of the different subjects related to detoxification and natural means as well, and when each when's the right time to utilize those products. And everyone is different. There are some people that have very severe reactions to DMSA or IV chelation. And, it's all about the individual and working with their genetics. We have Dr. Ben Lynch talking about genetics on the summit, and everyone's different in their health status and what they genetically can tolerate and their preference. Like some people just want to rip all the metals out with IV chelation, and some people want to do it real slow and real gently. And there's a lot of different factors involved when you're making your choice about the detox methods that you're going to use.
Yeah, that's so important. It's not a one size fits all, and what's going to work for this person isn't going to work for this person. I'm definitely a fan of going slow. I say start low, go slow, and use what works. And it's so important.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so great. So, and tell me a little bit more about like the bioenergetic component. I'm always so curious about that.
Yeah, we actually, like I said, we have a whole day dedicated to how to detox bioenergetically. And people are like, well, what is that? What are you talking about, lady? So essentially, you have your physical body, and a lot of practitioners will give supplements or medications to try to elicit a change physically. And but one of the ways, our bodies do communicate through neurotransmitters and through hormones and things like that. But one of the main communication system in the body is in our energetic field. And when you are working bioenergetically, you're trying to elicit a change in the bioenergetic field, which then elicits a change in your physical body. And it's much easier to work in the energetic field, and it's very inexpensive, and the protocols are very simple, and people respond unbelievably well to it. And I found in my practice, I was very frustrated with a certain subset population of clients that couldn't even take supplements. So they're wanting to seek natural care. They've been there, done that, going to the conventional medical doctors. The medication didn't work or made them sicker. And then they'll come to me, and they know they needed to detox, but they couldn't detox. They couldn't tolerate supplements. What do you do with these people? And I started using a bioenergetic protocol with them and just had unbelievable results. And I found I started using it with all of my clients and found that the people doing the bioenergetic protocols were detoxing much better. They were absorbing their nutrients more. They're on tests. They were increasing their nutrient intake, and they were detoxing much more metals. So I use it, it corrects a lot of different metabolic issues in the body, simply because it improves communication in the body. So it clears a lot of energetic blocks that improve communication and then function in the physical body. But I personally use it to facilitate detoxification of metals and chemicals. So we talk about different modalities to bioenergetically detox in the Heavy Metals Summit. That's kind of a simple explanation, if that makes any sense.
That's great. Yeah. And so where can people go again to sign up for the summit?
Yeah, so they just click the link above to go to the summit. They register totally for free. It starts January 29th to February 5th. And when they register, they get some free gifts. They get Dr. Christine Schaffner's How to Detox the Brain. They get my top 10 tips to detox like a pro checklist. And they also get 3 free talks, one by Dr. Jay Davidson, Nikki Grodtrix, and Dr. Eliza Song, all about detoxification, just so they can get started learning prior to the summit actually beginning on January 29th.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to stay tuned and listen up and learn a whole bunch of stuff, I'm sure.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it. I'm so passionate and excited about detoxification. So thanks for giving me a few minutes to allow it to share it with your audience.
You bet. Thanks for coming on, Wendy. It's great to see you again.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.